You know how we've talked about levels of love? It's like you love at the level, well, you're familiar with and comfortable with and know. But it was more than that. It was more than that. They were showing me quite a few things. I don't want to get into that because some of it was personal. So how can I say this? I'm just going to have to tell you. So it was like one of my ancestors had come through who, like she was full of love and really thought she was doing stuff out of love. She was. That was her highest capacity because it's all love. We have to remember that. You know, we say the extremes so we can be more clear on where it is on the scale, but unconditional love is in charge of it all, right? It's all vibration. It's all energy. So we're just talking about the highest vibration. And so that's what I mean when I say that. And so when I say unconditional love, God, source, all, it's the highest vibration. It's the one and only. It's the outermost. It's the highest. It's the best. It's the cleanest. It's the purest. It's however you want to say it. That's why it's invisible, right? It's like it's the cleanest. It's the pure. So this ancestor came through and they were talking to me, and then God was there with us, and we were all talking, and because I had helped this ancestor, see it, feel it, like heal it. How do I say all this? Because God was like, do you forgive? And I said, oh my God, of course. Right? Like I actually understand, right? Like I know a lot of righteous people, right? Or they know better, or they know best, or they know whatever. And when you're at a high vibration, you can hear the arrogance and you can hear the, it's like inability to rise up higher. But when you're there, and I've been there, you don't know better. You really think you're doing the right thing. And so it's like, of course I can forget them because I know they really did think that was loving, because that to them was the love they knew. That was the highest love they knew. So they thought they were being loving, being righteous. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like some people grow up with people who want to debate you, argue with you, tell you you're good or you're bad, you're right or you're wrong. Here's the rule books. If you can't follow this list it's an encyclopedia through 40 million that you have to obey on these conditions, and then we'll talk about possibly I'll be nice, right? Like it's this idea where it's like, it's tough stuff. And, but that's how they were bred, and then before them and before them and before them. So it gets like passed down, this misunderstanding, like that's why you've heard me many times mention I grew up in Catholicism and how it was taught and how it was portrayed. It's horrific. But when I deal with unconditional love directly, they'll take me to the same thing, but I can hear it from the higher vibration. I'm like, oh, that's not how it was taught at all, right? And so it's like, it's not that the teachings are bad per se, it's that how they're perceived, read, and shared and taught, that, it's that human interference, right? Our mistranslation. And so it's kind of like, we've talked about it, where it's like baby school. It's like, well, it's good information to have, but you got to leapfrog up from there. And so it's like, if you don't ever grow or evolve from there, you're capped there. It's like you're stuck at that ceiling, that limit, and you can't bust through because it has been so bred into you, and it's challenging. It is challenging to bust through those conditionings, right? Because you have to rewire your system, and you have to do that internal work. Because some of those beliefs are deep-held, deep-seated, deep-rooted, generational lines of believing it. And again, the question was, can I forgive? And I said, of course, because then I forgive myself, because I too have been there, right? Like you. And I think it's almost like not only I too have been there, but it's like I understand because I've been there, right? It is easier sometimes for us to forgive when we recognize and acknowledge our own shortcomings. I'm willing to take ownership. I want to take ownership. I want all my power. I'm not looking to blame outside and give my power away, nor do I want to stay stuck and stagnant, right? I'm willing to swallow the hard pills so I can evolve and move forward. And so it's benefiting you on so many layers and levels, but it's really beneficial even in this process because it's like, oh, I've been that asshole before too. Of course I can forgive because I had to forgive myself so I understand, and I wanted that forgiveness. So of course I can give that forgiveness. And I also understand that it's actually coming, surprisingly enough, from love, meaning that is their highest level of love. They really believe they're doing the right thing. They really do. Like, no, legitimately. That's where they live. That's the level they reside in. And so it's like they just haven't offered themselves a higher level of love. They haven't busted through those levels. And so although sometimes it's cruel or mean, we can see or feel or understand that because we've risen above it. And we see it that way because we can, but what I'm trying to say so you can hear is like, this is why you've heard me say a lot of times, I don't think it's intentional, because I don't think it is a lot of times. It's all they know. That's how they're treating you is how they treat themselves internally. That's where they live. That's where they reside. That's how they are. They don't know how to offer another unconditional love because they certainly don't offer it to themselves. And so I think you can hear it better that way, right? Like, so then you can see it's like, oh, they're not out and out being cruel to you. That's what they've got. That's the best they've got, right? And you see the fake smiles that they slap on because you're perceiving they're nice to others. No, that's fake, right? Like they are not offering themselves. And if they can be that cruel to anyone, then they're that cruel to themselves. That's their level of love for themselves. So that's all they can offer you. So that they think they're offering their version of love. I know it can sound so twisted. I really hope you can hear it through this because I'm dead serious. And I knew this relative and I knew her to be loving, and she was spoken about always as very loving. So it's like although I have learned and grown and evolved, I was able to see the sick patterns, but only because I was able to see my own sick patterns, right? Like I was able to recognize, oh shit, right? But if you can't look at your blind spot, if you can't look at your shadow, if you can't acknowledge and recognize, then you can't heal that part of you or integrate that part of you or release that part of you or however you want to say it or do it. And so this is what we've talked about, like narcissist and covert narcissist, right? Where sometimes those really nice, kind people are the most horrific, and you got to be careful of that. And again, not intentionally. It's just their level of love. It's their level where they've evolved to. They really haven't elevated past it. They don't know. And that's all they know. That's what they were taught. They thought that was kind. They thought that was love. They thought they were doing the right thing, right? Like, this might be the best I can offer. Because I feel like I'm just cycling and saying the same, partly because I'm very tired. But I really needed to go over all this stuff because I was shocked by what they had revealed. So that's why these past few, I've had to get them out before I go to sleep. Bottom line, as always, fully love yourself, accept yourself, forgive yourself, offer yourself that kindness, that grace, and do that work, because then you can offer it to others easily, because you don't have conditions on them, because you've released the conditions from yourself. So it gets better and better. And, of course we all have our days, but more or less that's your normal zone. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.